This week, we will begin the reading of the reign of David, which is covered in 1 Chronicles, chapters 10 through 29. We will cover this week a chapter each day, Monday through Friday, with the reading of the 10th through the 14th chapters. There is a devotion to follow each chapter read posted on the blog for some extra insight for you. Our reading this week will begin with David's journey on becoming king over all of Israel. God promises blessings to him and the nation. Although stumbling and falling occasionally, David walks step by step with God, sincerely wanting to be obedient. This chapter 10 on Monday, focuses on Saul, the king prior to David, a man with a good beginning and a tragic ending because of his unfaithfulness to God our Father. The details of how David came to power are given more completely in 2 Samuel. This week, 1 Chronicles chapter 11 emphasizes that God declared David to be ruler by using the efforts of many people and by God's anointing, 20 years after Samuel anointed him. These verses include the story of David's mighty men who were strong, leaders, and loyal to David. As king, he challenged them to do their best and would ask nothing of them that he himself would not do. David had a great army. Men were drawn to him by the reputation of his great warriors, the news of victories, and their desire to see God's will be done by making David the king. Each of the tribes had their area of expertise, with some archers or some men who were great with shields and spears. Men came from all tribes, for they wanted to be included with the best of David's warriors, as noted in the 12th chapter. Bringing the Ark of the Covenant home was a desire of David's, and one that he discussed with his officers. David was usually very good at seeking the Lord's direction in a new venture. One thing for sure is that this time he did not seek the Lord. The Levites were the people who knew just how to transport the ark and should have been the ones in active participation. Because David left the Lord out of this move, celebration ended in tragedy. This story is told in the 13th chapter. We end the week by reading how the Lord prospered David in battle. David asked for the Lord's presence and guidance, and victory was obtained. God had prospered him for the sake of his people. How often do you ask the Lord's guidance when you have major decisions in your life? Too often, we wait until we are in trouble, and by then, our consequences of our actions are already unfolding. Instead, go to him first. David's life is a favorite one to read about, and we will continue with another 5 chapters next week in the book of 1 Chronicles. Won't you please join us? Because Biblical Shakers makes reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you, and I pray the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.